Hello, y'all. I am back for another video. And this video is going to be about estranged children. And I was just talking briefly about this in my last live. So what I will do is post that live in the description box as well. And we got to get this situation under control, y'all. Estranged children. There's so many dynamics to it. The name of the video that I did on my last live was called Basic Standards and Morals. And in the video, when I give about 40 or 45 reasons as far as like morals and standards when it comes to family and children and stuff like that, I actually mention the estranged children that may come back. So with that being said, I will be primarily talking about the estranged child that is choosing to be in a no contact with their biological child. Okay. And I want to specify biological for this video. I'm not saying that if you adopt a child, it's not the same, but I do want to specify estranged children that actually belong to you. Okay. They are your biological blood related children. They came from your egg or your sperm. So in this video, I'm going to be very specific as to what I mean, because it has a lot of ingredients in it that can make it more painful, because this is actually your flesh and blood, especially for the parent or the child. But in this case, we're going to be talking about when the child grows up and they decide to not give a crap about their parent. So fair use, y'all, because I'm going to be starting with Meghan Markle. And of course, HG Tudor has declared that Meghan Markle, she's part of the royal family, and he's declared that she's a narcissist. I'm not sure what the personality type of her father, Mr. Markle. However, he has a lot of health issues and stuff like that. So I felt like it was important to talk about the estranged children, because there's a dynamic within it that's inappropriate, and it comes out of the appropriate, it's not within the appropriate hierarchy as far as what the parent and child should be doing and how they should be behaving. So hold on one second, y'all. So because of this hierarchy being taken out of proportion, parents especially get hurt. And so I'm going to be talking about the pain that a parent experiences when their adult child decides not to talk to them. And I talked about in the last video, in my last live, I mentioned when the adult child comes back, how in Stoic lessons, it's taught that it's okay to not accept the child back. I want to clarify what a child is to you, okay? Because people don't truly understand what a child is. So they go into extreme modes because they don't understand what a child really is. One, your child is not your Lord. Okay, they're not the Lord. They're not somebody that you're supposed to go commit suicide over, especially one that's mean and cruel. And number three, they're just a human being. It just so happens that they're a human being that comes from your sperm or from your egg. So the reason there's so much pain that comes in the parent-child relationship is because the parent and the child doesn't understand what it's supposed to be. I went through this myself. I've experienced estranged children. And how I handled it, I went over it in other videos, and I will get into that a little later. However, I'm going to be using the Meghan Markle case as an example. HG Tudor has declared her a narcissist, and most likely she is. I would agree with his finding. I mean, he's been uploading videos for a year or two or more about Meghan Markle, and I believe that his professional finding in her case is correct. Okay, and I think he mentioned that Meghan Markle was in a out, and I'm not sure if if HG Tudor declared Mr. Markle, which is Meghan Markle's white father, a narcissist. I think maybe he did, but I'm not positive. But at this point, it doesn't matter at this time if he's a narcissist. That's not going to be the window of concern. We're just going to treat him just like he's a father. He's definitely the one that made her half white. Okay. So Meghan Markle, she's married within the royal family, and she's biracial. Her mother's black, and her father, Mr. Markle, I think his name is Mr. Thomas Markle, is, and so Meghan Markle is benefiting off of that white bloodline. She's been able to walk her ass right into the royal family and manipulate, be a gold digger, and she's doing all of that based on that strong bloodline that she got from her white. However, she's not grateful for it. She doesn't care. Thomas Markle is dying and old and sick and morbidly obese. And to Meghan Markle, he might be stinky and smelly and old and ugly. She just treating him like some old white hunky that's on the side of the road that ain't related to her. This is how she's treating her father. Because like HG Tudor says, she is a narcissist. So estranged children can be pretty cruel. But the reason what they're doing works is because the dynamic of the parent-child relationship is wrong. So I'm going to explain to you what it should be. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background, and I've mentioned this in other videos. I was raised my entire life and most of my life by my grandmother, and she was a business owner. So I think that when it comes to looking at logic and reasoning, me seeing my grandmother run her business helped me know how things should be. And on top of that, my grandmother was the type of person I always know or knew she's the grandmother. So see, I'm the granddaughter. So I'm not to conquer my grandmother. I don't get to go in the restaurant, take over the fucking register, take her keys, knock her down, tell her this my motherfucking restaurant, bitch. I don't get to do all of that. So my grandmother taught me what hierarchy is and order and control. Okay. And one way she teaches me that is pull her pistol on me a couple of times. That teaches my ass who's in control, right? And so this is probably what Meghan Markle didn't get, right? There's some things that Thomas Markle could have done to Meghan Markle. Call her a few niggas. Negro, bring me that toy over there. But see, he was this Mr. Nice Guy to her ass, right? And so that's why she's fucked up. So at the end of the day, this is what a parent-child relationship should be. And this is why it's presented in your life, okay? Listen to me very carefully. Thank you so much for the like. It's to teach you how to be a gangster. And I'm not talking about no gangster that's killing people, that's shooting people down and selling drugs. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about having a gangster mentality where you're not flowing through life being victimized. Okay, my grandmother was very neglectful, especially towards the end of our relationship before I moved. But my grandmother blessed me. That's what she's supposed to do, right? Because she's supposed to teach me how to make gangster moves. And it's the same way for the parents. So let's start with the Bible. Honor thy mother and father. It does not say honor the kids. Do you notice that it doesn't say honor the kids? So when it comes to being submissive, the correct hierarchy is that the parent is supposed to be in leadership and the child can reach out to the parent. It should always be the parent above the child. The child never rises above the parent. It's not in the correct order. And another thing that people don't understand, the number one rule and the number one reason, the number one reason that people are made to be parents is because you're that child's disciplinary. You're their disciplinary for the rest of their life until they're 85 years old. You are the one, the parent is the one that's supposed to teach them a lesson. Okay. And remember, I said I went through the estranged children process. So I'm the one, after you ain't talked to me for a couple of decades and you bring your ass back, like my feelings not about shit, while you telling me I was a good mother to you over some custody battle shit, I'm supposed to teach you a lesson. And the lesson that's supposed to be taught is niggas ain't waiting on you to come back, dog. Get off my messenger. I don't want to have anything to do with you. And the parent does it by interacting a little and just ghosting the child. My daughter told me, she lives out of the country, and she told me, well, mommy, just let me know if you don't want to talk. I ain't let her know shit because she didn't let me know. See, you got to learn how to be a gangster. And this is why your children are given to you. So you can learn that and teach them that. Your children are not given to you for them to fuck over you and hurt you and send you to your death and give you heart attacks and shit. Parents kiss their kids' ass too much. And it's not the correct order of things, because the parent's role is to be a disciplinary. And in this case, this is why I love being a Scorpio. A lot of zodiac signs are not going to understand this. Not in the way a Scorpio does. I'm not here to baby your ass. Now, in rare cases, you may have an angel-like blessed child. You got a child that they step up and they get saved and baptized. They join a religion and they want to be a part of the correct hierarchy, which means honor you. Then you got a special child. Now with that child, you can move a little different after you discipline their ass. Okay? You truly can. But the whole role, the roles of the parent child is just out of hand. So I'm going to give you a pure example of how far it can go. Fair use, y'all. So let's see how Meghan Markle, and I don't like the word biracial. I can't stand that word, but I'm going to call her biracial. So let's see how she treats her freaking white father. Okay. And I want to point this out too. Meghan Markle is considered to be cold-hearted and cruel. And she's just considered to be cold-hearted and cruel to her father because he's a white man. Okay. Now, if her father was a black man, nobody would give a fuck about how she's treating him. But because he gave her her white bloodline and she's able to use that whiteness to go all the way to Europe and be part of the royal family, then it matters how she's treating them. Because now her dad's considered a victim. I think he's highly narcissistic as well. If I'm mistaken, please forgive me, but I think HG Tudor mentioned there's some narcissism with him or her mother. I think for sure the mom, and I think there's some narcissism with the father as well. But if I'm wrong, I apologize. Um, but for sure, Meghan Markle is a narcissist. And for this video, we're not really going to dissect whether the dad's a narcissist. So fair use, y'all. And some of my views may be very blunt and cold, but they're very logical. I went through this, y'all. So I'm telling you the correct way it should be and how to master it. That's why you're put on this earth. You're here to master these things. You aren't put here to be a sucker. That's why the Bible says, don't give your pearls to the swine. Now, what you got to add in there yourself, your children may be the swine. Those people that came out of your dick and pussy may be the swine. So don't give your pearls to the swine. Okay? Now, I gave you the exception. So this video is going to be very interesting. So let's start here with this video. Fair use, y'all. Fair use. So this is Thomas Markle, and he's in the hospital bed, sick. And all of these videos that I play for you, they will be in the description box within 15 minutes of this live ending, so you can watch them yourself. Every fair use video that I play, I always put it down in the description box, but it's there within 15 minutes of the live ending.
December 6th, 2025. Thomas Markle pleads with his estranged daughter, Meghan Markle, to see him one last time before he passes. This was extremely hard for me to watch, and they have been estranged for over 5 years. This is one of the core reasons as to why Meghan doesn't have any public support, because of the way she has treated her father.
Okay, so that video says that they've been estranged for over 5 years. Let me play it one more time since it's a short, okay? This is talking about Meghan Markle's father, her white father. Meghan Markle mother is black and her father is white. Okay.
December 6th, 2025. Thomas Markle pleads with his estranged daughter, Meghan Markle, to see him one last time before he passes. This was extremely hard for me to watch. Meghan doesn't have any public support because of the way she has treated her father. December 6th, 2025. Thomas Markle pleads with his estranged daughter, Meghan Markle, to see him.
Sorry about that, y'all. I had a little technical difficulty with the speaker, so I'm gonna play it twice, okay?
One last time before he passes. This was extremely hard for me to watch, and they have been estranged for over 5 years. This is one of the core reasons as to why Meghan doesn't have any public support, because of the way she has treated her father. December 6th, 2025. Thomas Markle pleads with his estranged daughter, Meghan Markle, to see him one last time before he passes. This was extremely hard for me to watch, and they have been estranged for over 5 years. This is one of the core reasons as to why Meghan doesn't have any public support, because of the way she has treated her father. December
Okay,
6th,
so
2025.
so anyway, December 6th, 2025. They've been exchanged for 5 years. Mr. Thomas Markle, Meghan Markle's father, he's gotten sick. And he's pleading with Meghan to see him before he dies. What did I tell you? Okay, I just said it earlier. You're giving children to learn how to make appropriate gangster moves. Okay, so number one, never plead with your children. Okay, you're not here to plead with your children. It's actually biblically inappropriate. The Bible said this is where, for parent and child relationships, you got to enter your Bible. Honor thy mother and father so that your days will be long. A disobedient child does not live all their days. There will be certain concepts in the Bible that have been proven to be true. So, Mr. Thomas Markle is pleading with his daughter. So, that's why she's a narcissist. You don't plead with your children, not these kind of children anyway. Now, if he had a daughter that was saved and baptized, just say Daniel and Isaiah. If I was sick and they weren't on speaking terms with me, I could plead with them to talk to me. It might work. But these are praying children, saved and baptized. Okay. So the thing is, you have to differentiate, or how do you pronounce the word differentiate? Differentiate. That word and warmth, I get tongue tied. I'm gonna look it up. Differentiate or differate. I mean, you make a difference, right? So let me try to pronounce it the best way I can. Okay. Differentiate. Okay, so differentiate means to recognize or ascertain what makes something different. So differentiate. Differentiate. Gosh, I wish I could, let me see. Differen. Differentiate. Okay, that's how I'm going to pronounce it. Differentiate. Okay, that's the correct way that I would pronounce it with my accent. So you got to differentiate between your children, which means you got to recognize or ascertain what makes someone different. And this word is differentiate. And I will put this word in the description box as well. So when you differentiate, it's kind of like the Bible would say, discern something. It's like a word for discern. So the thing is with Mr. Thomas Markle, he's pleading with his narcissist daughter. Even if he's the reason she's a narcissist, he should not be pleading with her before his death. So I'm looking at Mr. Thomas Markle. He has a very big stomach. He looks morbidly obese, and at a minimum obese. But I think he's more morbidly obese, to be honest. And I'm not making fun of Mr. Markle. What I'm saying is the 5 years that his daughter was in a no contact, which is Meghan Markle, he's doing the wrong activity. You know, a lot of these type of parents that plead with their kids, they have very low self-esteem because they don't take care of their bodies and their health. So see, you got to really dig into, and parents don't know to do this. So I know that if I'm pleading for my daughter that's in another country, for her to come back and never leave and all of that, it's because of the way I'm taking care of myself. So the reason I'm pleading for her is because, for one, I would have to lack a relationship with the Lord. I'm not praying. I'm not maintaining a decent weight, and I'm not going to the doctor and hospital and taking care of my health. And also, I may not have enough people or empathic people around me that love me. Maybe I'm not stable. I'm homeless. I just feel unloved. I feel like shit. And this is how Thomas Markle appears to me. He got the big stomach, morbidly obese or obese. I'm going to call him morbidly obese. He's way too heavy. So his focus is not on himself. So he's pleading for a human because his spiritual relationship with the Lord, he's getting ready to die. So he's pleading with the wrong individual. He needs to be pleading to the Lord, not for this bitch that came out of his nutsack. This is a cold-hearted bitch. She don't give a fuck about him. Okay? And she can lie and say she tried to contact him and send him an email. The bitch is lying. She's used his nutsack. His nutsack created this biracial asshole. And whether he's a narcissist or not, he's pleading that this biracial asshole come see him. Because there's a soul there. He probably want to apologize to the bitch. Okay, but in this case, I don't care if he's a narcissist. Right is right, wrong is wrong. She ain't came out and said this man molested or raped her. She's not talking to her dad over some fucking photos and he got sick and had some heart attacks and couldn't make it to her bitch ass wedding. The fucking man got sick and ill and couldn't make it to her whole ass wedding for her to show off that she married into more white people. So she's mad about that. Meghan Markle's not about shit, but this is her father. But the thing is, he's pleading with a daughter that has no respect for the Lord. So the hierarchy is this. When you dying and somebody ain't talking to you, you don't plead and beg for nobody. Any motherfucker that's not talking to you on your deathbed, you supposed to be updating your lawyer to disown him out your will if it ain't on your will to disown him. See, he shouldn't be pleading for her. He should be contacting his attorney, making sure that if he got a can of soap to donate, because he don't look like a wealthy man. If he got a can of soap to donate, he's supposed to be making sure it don't go to this biracial ass bitch. But I got the game on tight because I know what my position is with an estranged child. My position is to tell her to fuck off, go back over in Australia, get on your knees and suck that white dick. Because see, I got one that's estranged too, way over in Australia. And she can get on her knees and suck that white man dick. That's helping to put in her head to not deal with her nigga ass family. And we not niggas, but I'm just saying the way white people view them. Fuck these estranged children. So you got to understand the hierarchy. And I'm not angry about it. I'm angry that these parents keep getting treated like this. I wish I had talked to him. I wish I could have been at the hospital with this man. This man, even being a narcissist, he don't deserve this. It's just despicable. Honor thy mother and father. She ain't never said this man molested her or nothing. I seen all the videos when he was walking around at her birthday parties and everything. Mr. Thomas Markle was present in this bitch's life. Meghan Markle, his biological daughter, this ain't his adopted daughter. She looked like this man. That's why she's walking around using white privilege. Everything she got is based on her white bloodline. Her becoming part of the royal family, she's using the white privilege of her white bloodline from Thomas Markle. That's the bottom line. And this estranged children thing got to stop. These parents got to stop pleading for these children. It's inappropriate. The child ain't talked to him in 5 years. Now he gave her an opportunity to show more hate towards her. The thing is, since he pleaded for her to come see him before he dies, as far as I know, he's not dead yet. He pleaded with his daughter, Mr. Thomas Markle, a white man. He pleaded for his biracial daughter to come see him. So at least the world knows what she's about. But he didn't have to do that for the world to know, because Mr. HG Tudor has been exposing the last 2 years or more that Meghan Markle is a narcissist and an asshole. So we just got to get this right. When you begin pleading with your kids, now these are the things you can plead with your children about. I went and saw one of my incarcerated children, and I said, please don't use drugs. Please, I'm begging you. But that child was saved and baptized and had given his life to the Lord. You're not supposed to treat all your children the same. Some of your children are demons. They come straight from the pit of hell. And many of them will be killed. They're going to be shot, ran over, some shit going to fall on their punk asses. The child-parent relationship is to teach you the most valuable lessons of your life. Like I'll go back to when I moved out of my grandmother's. My position in my grandmother's life was for her to learn the most valuable lesson in her life. The lesson learned is never choose money over your family. That's what I taught my grandmother when I moved out of town. While you sitting up waiting on the bank to come remove you from this piece of shit ass restaurant that's now gone, you done lost your granddaughter and great granddaughter that you left sitting upstairs like some furniture. That's what's supposed to happen. Parent-child relationships, grandparent-child relationships, these are not fantasy island relationships. These are karmic relationships that are given to you, and you're blessed with them so you can learn a valuable lesson. That's why the Lord gives you these little demons. So the parent and child can learn a lesson. And ultimately, who's supposed to learn the most lesson when it's a disobedient and disrespectful child is that child. The way he teaches her a lesson is not to plead with her. Thomas Markle made a major mistake. And when he pled for his daughter to come see him, it shows me the relationship that he has with the Lord, a bad one. And it shows me that he doesn't have a good support system. Because I would have told Mr. Thomas Markle, you can give me her number and I'll call and cuss the bitch out for you. But you ain't getting ready to plead for her in front of me because she came out of your nutsack. See, when somebody come out of your nutsack, you don't have to kiss their motherfucking ass when they disrespecting you and living a horrible lifestyle. And Meghan Markle is living a horrible narcissistic lifestyle. She treating her daddy like he fat, ugly, and he just any old hunky on the street. That's how this nigga's treating him. Because that's a nigga move that Meghan Markle making. Treating a man that brought her in the world like that. He didn't have to fuck her mama and bring her biracial ass here. I hate the word biracial, but I'm going to use it today. I don't like the word because it's unfair to the person. It doesn't describe their race. But I'm not going to show her respect like Mr. Thomas Markle is. She just don't care nothing about this man. She's not grateful for anything that he offered her, even her light skin. He gave her light skin, and she took that light skin, and he gave her that white voice too. I'm light skinned, but my voice counts me out. I can't go to the royal family because they're going to say, nigga, get the hell up out of here with your nappy head ass and your black sounding ass. With your hips, get on up out of here. I wouldn't be welcome. My mama too black for them to welcome me in the royal family. Okay. And yeah, my father is not alive as well. So it's just horrible. So I'm gonna play this video one more time. So I'm gonna play this video, and also I want you to hear another video where they're gonna talk about her situation. Okay. So we got to understand the hierarchy. So number one, when you have children, you become a gangster. And I'm not talking about no criminal. You got to understand power and control and hierarchy. The parents in the power role. We don't plead for kids. unless we're pleading for them not to do something bad like use drugs. And when you're doing that, you want to make sure they're teenagers and very young. Meghan Markle is well in age. She's not no drug addict or nothing like that, as far as I know. I think HG Tudor might have mentioned a drinking problem or some kind of substance use disorder she may have. So I think there is something there with that. But the parent has power and control and needs to learn to use it. The parent is the disciplinary, and you are the person. The parent is the person that's supposed to teach that narcissistic child their most valuable lesson. Never take anything for granted. And the parent, when that narcissistic asshole comes back, that parent is supposed to discard that child and teach them that, no, I run this. I'm the gangster of this flow. You came out of me. It don't roll over here. I experienced the same situation months ago when I was in the same situation with the child. I don't do it. I don't buy it, y'all. I don't allow people I gave birth to abuse me in that way. Hello, Carlos. Let me get this right. Carlos Scalanti. Am I pronouncing that right? Say yes if I'm pronouncing it right. Welcome to the live, Carlos Scalanti, 4317. Am I pronouncing your name right? If not, tell me the correct way to pronounce it in the chat. Thank you. Okay, Carlos Scalanti, 4317. Thank you. I'm happy about that. I don't like mispronouncing somebody's name. I try to put some time into it. Yeah. So Carlos Scalanti, this video is about estranged children and understanding the gangster way we supposed to interact with these people. Meghan Markle is part of the royal family, and she's married into the royal family, and she's emotionally abusing her white father, Thomas Markle, that could be dying here pretty soon. She's been estranged from him and in a no contact that she's choosing to have for the last 5 years. And he pleaded with Meghan Markle for her to come back in his life and come see him before he passes away. He just had his leg amputated. Very sick man, very unhealthy man as well. Thomas Markle is a morbidly obese white man. And he's pretty in bad shape and could be dying. Got his leg amputated and everything. He's had surgeries, more than one, I think. He's just in bad shape. He's a sick older man. My heart goes out to him. But his daughter's a narcissist, and the mistake that he's making is he's pleading with her. And what I'm teaching you here with the Advanced Insight channel is you don't plead to your children. You're supposed to be, if you're dying, you got to plead to the Lord so you can enter heaven. He's pleading to this lady and wasting his time. And the Lord may not like it. If he's dying, he needs to be spending as much time with God in heaven and Father God as often and as much as he can so that he can make it into a better place. Thank you so much for the chat, Carlos Scalanti. Thank you so much. So I'm going to be playing another fair use video about this. So that, and then thank you so much for the likes, but it goes on a lot. And the reason this video is so important, I've gotten so much different advice. You know, the thing with parental, not really parental alienation. I'm sorry, I'm using the wrong term. The thing with estranged children, other people will give advice to the parent to beg for that child to come back. And other people can give a parent that type of shitty advice, even though they know that the child is going to reject their mother or father. The nurses might be telling them, well, Mr. Thomas Markle, why don't you contact Meghan, your daughter in the royal family? Because the nurses want to meet this bitch, right? So they may be giving him the advice just so they can meet her and get an autograph. But some people that's at his bedside may be more protective. And they may say, no, you're already sick, just get comfortable, sir. It's all different kind of ways that it can be. I was encouraged to interact with my estranged children. And I defeated the advice because I know my position in this child's life. My position in this estranged child's life is to tell her to fuck off and go on that other page and stay out of the country. Because I don't have time for the shit. An estranged child, they coming back to play with your mind. That's it. And then telling you stuff like, well, I just want to be around you. I don't really want to be around my brothers. You're my mommy. I want to be around you. I don't want to, it's just got to be us. Like putting you in all this abusive ass isolation. Who does this person think they are? This person comes out of your pussy and your dick, right? Who the fuck do they think they are? They got the gangster role all mixed up. And what helps me is my Scorpio traits. I'm so happy to be a Scorpio because I understand my correct position. And I always understand with having Scorpio traits, I always understand my position and the position that you're supposed to be in over there. And you're supposed to be in over there. See, Scorpios, we don't have a problem with hierarchy like these other signs do. We don't have a problem with it. We ain't gotta let you know nothing. You will find out when we act on it. What about that? These type of narcissistic children are not deserving of your love. And the parent role is not just to love, it's to discipline. When my narcissistic, psychopathic, or whatever she is, roll on back decades and decades later, as a mother, I'm supposed to teach her that that's unacceptable. So she won't do it to other people. See, she'll treat other people better because her mother's teaching her, oh my God, I never thought I would go back to her and she wouldn't accept me. My mother? Oh my God, my mother doesn't like me? Oh my God, my father has let me go? Yes, that's what you're here for. You're not here to just, oh, they're so cute. Oh, look at her. Oh, look at him. Oh, such wild eyelashes. Oh, goodness, blue eyes? Oh, this one has brown eyes. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah, this is interesting. You'll love my videos and lives because I teach a lot of things that will go against the grain. Thank you, Sob Dude. Sob_dude -Q9J. Thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah, and this channel will benefit you because of this. I teach the truth and I have experience in this area, and I go against the grain of submitting to abusive patterns. You do not deserve to be sad the rest of your life or going to your deathbed being tortured by your narcissist daughter or son. And in this case, it's a daughter that's torturing this white man. All over some fucking photos. She's mad at the man. He had to have surgeries. Look, he's morbidly obese. Okay. If he missed my wedding and had to have stents and surgeries in his heart and his leg amputated, I would understand. Look at him. Damn, look at my daddy. He morbidly obese. I would not expect this man to make it down the steps. Matter of fact, I'll be calling, seeing who can take him in a nursing home. Why the fuck is she expecting this morbidly obese man to make it to her fucking bullshit ass wedding, where she's just manipulating the whole other family, but using her white privilege and the fact that she has a white father to manipulate the royal family and ultimately marry into the royal family. She marries into that family, marries Prince Diana's son. He's absolutely a victim of this Meghan Markle. So I'm going to play this video, and thank you so much for subscribing, Sob Dude. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right as well. Thank you so much for the likes. So let me play another video. Okay. Since you just got in here, Sob Dude, I'm going to play this one more time, okay?
December 6th, 2025. Thomas Markle pleads with his estranged daughter, Meghan Markle, to see him one last time before he passes. This was extremely hard for me to watch, and they have been estranged for over 5 years. This is
hard to watch. Remember, this video is going to be in the description box, and this is very hard to watch, okay?
One of the core reasons as to why Meghan doesn't have any public support, because of the way she has treated her father.
And he probably just wants to apologize to her, you know. I think he's a little narcissistic himself. You know, if you look at their old photos, he's not smiling much. You know, narcissistic people, they're famous for not having the smiles and looking miserable when they're with their kids. I think he's been a decent enough father to be able to be worthy of being seen before he dies. I really believe that. I just think he's worthy enough to be seen. Even if he is a whole narcissist, I think that the right thing to do would be to go see her dad and call him. She can do a video chat with him. What about that? I think at this point, Mr. Thomas Markle, Meghan Markle's biological father, I think he would be happy just to see her on the screen. I think he literally just wants to talk to her before he dies, whether he hear her on the phone, a video chat. I don't even think that, I think he's dying at some point, and I think he just wants to feel her energy. You know, if she do a video chat with them, they can screenshot the photos on the video chat, and he would have some memory of that. I just think he just wants to look at her, whether it be in person or on a screen, because this is her blood father. She looks like this man. She wouldn't have the white bloodline if it wasn't for him. She's used his nutsack. His nutsack created this heifer. She's used her dad's nutsack, Meghan Markle. She used his nutsack, and I'm not talking about no predator molester shit. I'm talking about when he fucked her black ass mama, and she used his nutsack and then made her decrepit ass, and then she disrespected her father. My grandmother was narcissistic at times, and she was empathic. I got out of town, came back to visit her, came to her funeral. I still visited her. Come on now. I was able to visit her before she passed away, and I talked to her on the phone before she passed away and came to her funeral. My grandmother didn't live very long once I left St. Louis. She lived about 7 years from the time I passed. My grandmother passed away. My grandmother passed away the same day I moved. I moved July 22nd out of St. Louis, and 7 years later, after I left St. Louis, my grandmother passed July 22nd. I can't forget those two things. I can't forget the day I left St. Louis, Missouri and moved to the West Coast. And I can't forget the day she died, July 22nd. Both days were exactly the same. My grandmother only lived 7 years from the time I left, exactly 7 years. So may she rest in peace. But I mean, and my grandmother, I mean, she treated me like I was a rock or a piece of furniture when she was losing her restaurant. I forgive her, but I still went to go visit her. I wouldn't stay the night at her house now. That's one thing I didn't do. I never gave my grandmother another chance to make me feel like I'm a piece of furniture in her crib. I didn't give her that chance now, but I did visit her, sit with her. I came to 2 of her locations. I came to the house when she stayed on Cabiny, and then I came to the apartment when she stayed on Whittier. And I sat there in the restaurant with her when the restaurant closed after she had been in business over 40, 50 years. I stayed with her that entire summer mostly. And she left me upstairs and didn't check on me, but I took my daughter down there and checked on her. Just due to the fact of how she raised me. And, remembering the good memories of when she did love me. Narcissistic people, they're not going to keep loving you now. You can't be expecting that. So, fair use, y'all. Let me play this other video. So, fair use, y'all. Fair use. Fair use.
Had a car accident. Don't call a lawyer.
I'm sorry. This is a commercial, y'all.
Reach out to her father during... Did Meghan Markle really reach out to her father during his life or death medical crisis?
No, she did not reach out to him, y'all. An email ain't nothing.
She says yes, but her father says no. Now Meghan is dealing with these embarrassing headlines. Can Meghan really keep her father cut off? Meghan no longer has her father Thomas Markle's phone number. Duchess hasn't called him. The 81-year-old told the Mail on Sunday, "I don't want to die estranged from Meghan. I want..."
He's 81 years old, and he says he doesn't want to die estranged from Meghan. No, he shouldn't want to die estranged from the Lord. See, this is where this hierarchy is all messed up. The parent has now made the child their Lord. See, the Lord come before this heifer that went no contact with him. The Lord is first. So he shouldn't want to be estranged from the Lord. He shouldn't care about being estranged from her. She already showed him that she want to be estranged. And it's her right to do so. It's not illegal to not talk to him. They can't arrest her for it. It's nothing that he can do. But he shouldn't want to be estranged from the Lord. That's my opinion. And that's how I'm going to be dying. I'm not going to be caring about some estranged kids. As an aware empath, I'm not going to be caring about some estranged kids. I'm going to be caring about being estranged from the Lord. Because an estranged child is more likely going to get you in hell versus a heaven. You want to go to heaven, not hell. Estranged children, if you don't keep them out of your life, they just going to make you bitter. And then you're going to be begging. The Lord going to be mad because the Lord, like, I want you to beg for my energy. Not no estranged child that's grown, that's wicked and evil now and has no soul. Fair use, y'all.
81-year-old told the Mail on Sunday, "I don't want to die estranged from Meghan. I want to meet my grandkids." He has never seen Meghan and Harry's 2 children.
Wow, she's not even allowed him. Her father's 81 and has not allowed him to meet her husband, Harry, or the kids that could be hers or not. I don't know if she had a surrogate mother. People are not even sure if those are really her biological children. So she hasn't, but you know what? He shouldn't care about these people. They just humans. That's it. And until parents get this in their mind and take their children off this godlike status, it's going to continue to happen. You see this all the time. You got all kind of estranged parents that have created YouTube channels begging for the company and love of their narcissistic, abusive ass children. And they continue to be abused and sad because they don't understand proper hierarchy. They just do not understand the appropriate hierarchy. If anything, if anybody's supposed to be sad, it's supposed to be who came out of your nutsack and your pussy. That's who's supposed to be sad. Why are you sad and you brought this person on this earth? It's not logical that you sad and the child happy, this adult child running around happy because they lit up like a Christmas light and a Christmas tree because they abusing their own parent. Giving this child fuel, giving them narcissistic supply. Because the narcissistic supply that adult child is getting is the fun that they feel inside when they know that they're torturing their parent. I called them demons earlier. People don't want to accept that they gave birth to some demons. A demon came out of your nutsack and a demon came out of your pussy, and you need to treat it as such. When you start pleading and begging people, you already should know that you're interacting with the demon. When you're pleading for people to talk to you, the reason you're pleading is because those are demonic spirits that you're approaching. If you're not approaching a demonic spirit, you don't have to plead. You just have to make a call and say, hey, how you doing? How's your day? When you're interacting with the people that the Lord wants you to interact with, it's not that challenging. But when you start begging and pleading, that's your number one sign that you're interacting and entering into a hell zone. Fair use, y'all.
Meghan's spokesperson insists she did reach out to her dad, but now Meghan's half-brother is coming forward to say that's just not so.
Oh, Meghan Markle reached out to her father. Okay, funny he didn't get the message.
So who's telling the truth?
She didn't call.
This is Thomas Markle Jr., kind of being sarcastic, saying funny he didn't get the message because Meghan Markle ain't reached out.
She emailed him. Sources say that's because the Duchess of Sussex doesn't have a working number for her father, so email was the only option for her.
Meghan's half-brother is sending this message directly to the Duchess.
I don't believe you don't know the phone number. I don't believe it. It's just a bunch of horse malarkey.
Okay, so that's fair use. Now let me play this other video. Fair use, y'all.
Did Larry just address Tina, his boss's boss?
No, we are not talking about Larry and Tina. These commercials. These commercials are horrible.
Out about their estrangement amid Meghan Markle's dad is speaking out about their estrangement amid an emergency surgical procedure. Thomas Markle spoke out to the Daily Mail and said, quote, I don't want to die estranged. Also telling the Mail on Sunday that he hopes he can see Prince Harry, Archie, and Lilibet, quote, before it's too late. Also saying about the Duchess of Sussex, quote, I've always and I am open to reconcile.
Yeah, Meghan Markle, she viewed her daddy like he ugly and fat and morbidly obese. She's looking down on him too because he's a sick and unhealthy man. And that's just a bad way to view her biological father. I mean, she's not supposed to be looking at her father like he's just another homeless hunky on the street, but that's how she's treating him, Some of these narcissistic kids and these narcissists and psychopaths, they will mistreat their parents just because of their appearance as well. They're fat, they're too black, they're ugly, they're white and ugly. He got a bald spot in the middle, because Meghan Markle is very, she's a vain woman. She's extremely conceited and she's very vain, excessively vain. And, her dad has the big bald spot on his head and, he aged out, and he's morbidly obese and unhealthy. And, that can create a lot of abuse towards him. She may not be saying it, but she's showing it. That's how she's treating them. Because I'm watching this video of how she's, walking around with her cute little body and, holding her husband's hand in the royal family. So this is a conceited, she's low class, no matter how high class she appears, because of her nature and the way she's treating her father.
I have never stopped loving her. I don't want to die estranged from Meghan. I want to meet my grandkids. It might be nice to meet her husband too. Last week, Thomas Markle underwent an emergency surgery in the Philippines, where he had his left leg amputated, per multiple reports. Thomas Markle Jr. told the Mail on Sunday of the procedure that, quote, "It happened very quickly. I took him to a local hospital, and they did some scans and an ultrasound, and said the leg had to be amputated. I was told the leg had to be removed, and it was a case of life or death." There have been conflicting reports regarding whether Meghan has reached out to her estranged father. People reports that Meghan emailed her father on Friday, but the Mail on Sunday reported over the weekend that Thomas was, quote, confused about that report and claimed he hadn't heard from his daughter. Meghan and her dad have been estranged since 2018 after he was involved in a staged paparazzi scandal ahead of Meghan and Harry's royal wedding.
Yeah, it was some kind of paparazzi scandal that he was involved in. I don't know much about that, and I really don't care about it. That was 5 years ago. The estrangement has gone on 5 years. I don't know about that. When your parent is dying, I don't care about the paparazzi, the royal family. None of that really matters when your parent's dying. Honor thy mother and father. She should just forgive her dad. The man's gonna die. I don't see what she's getting out of torturing her father. So this is another video, fair use. So this is gonna call Meghan Markle cold-hearted. So listen to this video, y'all.
Meghan Markle's father is stricken in hospital fighting for his life in intensive care with a worrying new health development, which is that one of his legs has been amputated. Has Meghan Markle reached out? Let's get the views of Charlotte Griffiths, editor-at-large at the Mail on Sunday. Good morning, Charlotte.
Morning, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you for joining us on a Saturday morning. Huge pressure on the Duchess of Sussex to be seen to reach out to her father, who's fighting for his life. Has she yielded to the pressure?
She hasn't yet yielded to the pressure, but the thing is, this moment was always going to come. There was always going to be a moment where her father's getting on a bit, and he's obviously suffered health problems for years. There was going to be a point where something happened, and sadly it has. He's had some sort of heart problem over in the Philippines where he lives. He moved there to escape it all. And now she's in this very awkward position where she doesn't speak to her father. He's on death's door. He was in intensive care earlier in the week. He's now stable. It was the front page of the Daily Mail. It was all over the papers. It's amazing she hasn't thought this through since her wedding in 2018. She's had all these years to prepare for this moment, to reach out to her father, if nothing else, just for the PR. Okay, so let's pretend she's a cold-hearted woman who doesn't care about her father at all. She does care about her image. She does care about her reputation. She has just released a holiday video in which she talks about, the power of togetherness and love and, the season bringing everyone together. It is really mad to me that she has let it get this far. Of course, he made some massive mistakes, the biggest crime of which was posing for photographs before the royal wedding. But, he was all out at sea. This guy didn't know what to do. Nobody supported him. Nobody told him what to do when your daughter becomes world famous overnight and marries a prince. And I have to say, I just think the man needs help. He really needs a daughter to wrap her arms around him and help him. And she should have been there all along.
Yes, and Thomas Markle Jr., who's Thomas Markle's son and the half-brother of Meghan Markle, lives in the Philippines with Thomas Markle, and on his own YouTube channel, he's revealed that the two of them face enormous financial challenges. They really don't have much money. I think the apartment is $500 a month, which is all Thomas Markle Sr. can manage from his pension. Thomas Markle Jr. has got health issues. He's had pneumonia, possibly TB, bronchitis as well. So, you know, the two of them are struggling.
And all of those illnesses, especially the bronchitis, especially in larger size males that are obese or morbidly obese, and even women as well. For ladies that are morbidly obese, your bronchitis will get worse. The more weight you have on you, the more inflammation you will have. I've experienced that going through some weight issues. I mean, I've kept 25 pounds off for over 3 years now. And just having that 25 pounds consistently off, I lost it prior to 2022. So from, it's been over 3 years now, I guess going on 4 maybe. Okay. So going on 4 years, just keeping that 25 pounds off, that excessive weight. I still could lose another 15 or 20 pounds as well. It wouldn't hurt, but just having that first 25 pounds that I kept off, I have less asthma symptoms. I don't have bronchitis, but I do have asthma. I have less inflammation, less muscle aches, less water retention, and my blood pressure is much better. Okay.
Them are struggling financially, health-wise, morale is low, and silence from the Duchess.
Yeah, and in that void, you know, Thomas Markle Jr. can't help but speak out to the press and media and his YouTube channel, and Meghan's half-sister as well, with whom she's had this long kind of feud, also fills that gap and speaks. And really, it should be Meghan controlling the narrative on this one, and it should have been all along. And it must be that it's a really bad sort of cyclical problem, because what happens is Thomas Markle Sr., when Meghan first cut him off, kept speaking to the press and doing interviews for TV, because A, he was desperate to get through to his daughter and she cut off all his calls, and B, I'm afraid he did probably take payment for some of those interviews. Now, really, anyone as bright as Meghan, she is a formidable, bright woman, should have immediately grasped the nettle and said, right, you know, I'll give you a bit of pocket money, Dad. Please stop talking to the press. This is how we're going to manage it. Here's a team of PR managers. I think she's had 15 PR managers in the last few years. Any one of them.
I get her being a little pissed off because he's talking to the press. I know Kobe Bryant's wife, when Kobe Bryant died several years ago, Vanessa Bryant ended up putting her mother out of the house for similar issues, talking to the press. I get that, right? But I don't believe Vanessa Bryant would take it so far if her mother pleaded to come see her when she's dying. I don't think Vanessa Bryant, actually, I know she would not. She would go see her mother. And Vanessa Bryant, even though she removed her mother from her home, she kept contact with her mother. They didn't talk for a while, but they're back in contact as far as I know. So I get, you know, your mother or father or grandparents, you know, taking payments from the press and the paparazzi. I get that that would be considered disrespectful, but I just don't see it as a big enough thing to, that's kind of like money's the root to all evil, right? In Meghan Markle's case, Thomas Markle Sr., her father, he, you know, tried to make amends and ask for forgiveness and, you know, get his daughter, you know, basically like, I won't do it no more, daughter, you know, like a promise to not do it anymore, because he reached out through the press to get forgiveness. But, you know, it's new for him having a daughter that's in the royal family. I mean, it's all kind of like money's the root to all evil. And I remember the videos of how he's at her birthday parties and stuff, and he probably feel, you know, a little entitled to talk to the press because he's the one that gave her her pale skin, and she's had all those freaking plastic surgeries to make herself look more white, you know, because if you really look at her when she was a child, she looked more like a black child. She looked truly biracial, right? You can tell she had a black mama, white daddy, but she grew up and had all those freaking surgeries and she wears that straight hair. That girl got nappy ass hair, for real. But she tries to make herself as white as possible, but you know, most of it she has naturally because she has a whole white daddy that has you know, he has small features and he's a morbidly obese man, of course, but he's just the traditional looking big white guy, big tall white guy. That's just what he looks like. A down home country fed white man with the bald spot and everything. He's not into vanity and he's not conceited, and to him the shit probably wasn't that big of a deal because he's not into all of that vanity stuff like she is. You could look at his weight until he ain't caring about what he looked like. He's not anybody that's morbidly obese, they ain't vain. They don't give a shit about what they look like. You know, if he got 18 dents in his ass, he don't give a fuck. He just don't. He ain't that type of man. And that probably disgusted her. I got a sense that she's disgusted by her father as well. You know, because she's a narcissist. She thinks she better than him. She really does. That's just how they think. So fair use, y'all. Listen to this.
Managers. I think she's had 15 PR managers in the last few years. Any one of them could have helped him. And she just hasn't done that. And I just think it's a complete PR own goal. And obviously morally not ideal to be cutting off your father. And he famously carried on paying her student loan when he was out of work and she was working on Suits, her legal.
And estranged children, I'm going to point this out because I have a situation like that as well with the estranged children. They will not thank you for what you've paid. Okay, they will not. If there was a custody battle, in my case, I paid over $60,000. They don't give a fuck. An estranged child ain't thanking you for it. Actually, they want more of your money. They come back in your life like, here's a picture of my biracial baby. Because in my daughter's case out of the country, her child's biracial because she has a white husband. Okay. And she's black. My daughter's black, of course, and her husband's white. So they come back, they roll back through like you ain't got no feelings, flash up a picture of their naked ass husband. This is what was sent to me, a picture of her half naked ass husband, a white man, and the biracial little boy. And hey, here we are. And they want some more motherfucking money from you. That's it. An estranged child, an estranged adult child, they don't give a fuck about your finances. That 60 grand you already paid, that 100 grand you already paid, they want more. They just want to suck you dry. If you retire and on your deathbed and you can't pay for your disposable underwear that you need to piss in, they don't give a fuck. This is a demon you done had. Number one problem, why these estranged children abuse their parents consider them all blessings. Major mistake. The Bible actually emphasizes that all children are not blessings. It does. It says children of the devil. And children of the devil can be implanted in angels. It's like a curse. The devil is trying to take you over. Ultimately, the devil's whole goal is to make the parent commit suicide. A lot of parents do. Some of them commit suicide over their estranged children. They sure do. They shoot themselves in the head. They'll take a whole bottle of their high blood pressure medicine and take it all and die while they sleep. They do that. Estranged parents will unalive themselves I mean, parents, not estranged parents, parents, mothers and fathers will unalive themselves over their estranged children. Yes, this is why you got to get these spirits off you. Meghan Markle being estranged from Thomas Markle Jr., her white father, may have contributed to his illnesses progressing so fast. Maybe it's just not all his morbid obesity. Maybe it's stress too. It could be stress related, sure can, especially if he has high blood pressure and heart problems. Fair use, y'all.
Working on Suits, her legal drama, getting thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds an episode. And now, of course, she lives in a $9 million house and is married to a prince and is raking in money from Netflix left and right. So to pass the 3 shekels on to dad would be nothing to her.
Well, indeed, it would be a drop in the ocean. There are some media outlets suggesting that she has reached out. Does that still...
And also, I'm going to point this out from a mob perspective, from a mobster perspective. Okay, I did a live about the Italian mindset. And so I'm going to explain to you from a mob and mobster perspective, just being honest. And I'm going to notate this in the notes somewhere. So in case it went down. To be honest, the royal family, they probably have been wanting to unalive Meghan Markle, but the hold off could be because of her white father. See, as long as he's still alive, whether Meghan Markle believes it or not, as long as her father, Thomas Markle Sr., is still alive, the royal family may kind of back off for right now because her white dad is still alive. You don't really want to fuck with no old white country man. He'll shoot up that damn mansion. He don't give a damn over his baby. He'll kill over that biracial little girl. But when he die, don't be surprised if they unalive her. And see what's going to happen is the way she treating her white father, they'll get revenge on her for that. They're not going to respect her for that. The royal family, their facade and their mask is to make it appear that they respect their elders and that they respect their grandchildren and daughters and sons. And of course, it's not true. Because you see what Princess Diana went through. It's a lot of narcissists in the royal family over in Britain. It just is. It's a lot of narcissists and psychopaths. It's a lot of motherfuckers in there that don't wash their ass too. I've watched videos like that. Some of the royal family, they stank so motherfucking bad, you have to run up out of some of them mansions. Some of them royal family members are some stanky, dirty motherfuckers. Not all of them clean. It's just like when you go over in Hollywood. People go visit there and they tell you about the streets they walk on and all the strong piss and shit. Yeah, it's filth and nastiness. Pure filthiness in a lot of those places. So going back to what I was saying, if Meghan Markle father, Thomas Markle, her white father, passes away, that will be noted with the royal family. And whether Meghan Markle realizes it or not, that white man is her protector. Even when she's not talking to him, they know as long as he can walk and talk, he'll kill over that girl. They know that. So don't be surprised if he dies within the next few years, they unalive her ass. And when they unalive Meghan Markle, they're going to get away with it. When the royal family kills you, they're not going to the penitentiary. That's not what they do. They're not going to any prison, especially for unaliving a Black person. Because if they unalive her, when her father dies, if they kill Meghan Markle, if the royal family kills Meghan Markle, when her white country fed handsome daddy died. If they kill her, she just a nigga. That's when she a nigga now, right? See, because she biracial. So she's just benefiting from white privilege, but they look at her as a nigga right now. And the royal family been tired of that nigga being in their mansions. She's not truly accepted as a white girl. She puts on that facade because she's taking on that white privilege. And she's utilizing her bloodline, okay, to be a gold digger and to manipulate Princess Diana's son, Harry. And play off his grief of, you know, he's still not over his mama. He looked just as sad as can be. So the thing is, I'm just going to notate that I said it in this video. When her protector passes away, Thomas Markle Sr., if Meghan Markle, I give it 2 to 4 years, and she come up dead, fancy car accident, she fall down the mansion steps, drown. You know how they do. They find fentanyl in her bloodline, in her bloodstream, overdose of cocaine. She go out to eat, get food poison. You know how they do. You know how they do. So, you know, accidental death. Accidental death. You know the game. So if that happened within 2 to 4 years, when her father dies, she's not protected. Because they fear that country-fed man. Don't nobody fuck with no morbidly obese, sick white man. They know he'll kill over his baby. Sure will. But when he passes, that protection's gone. And they're not going to look at her, have any respect for her for the way she treats her father. That'll motivate them to kill her. They'll lose empathy. They got a little empathy for her because her father's a white man. But they see how she's treating a white man. She's showing the royal family she don't like white people, period. Whether they British, white American. She's showing the royal family that she don't like white people. She acting like a nigga, like fuck this white man. That's that black side coming out, that racist ass black side coming out of Meghan Markle. It's not right. So this video is, of course, about estranged adult children. Estranged children, they grow up and become adults, and this is how they treat you. So let me see. I think I played all the videos. I think I played 4 of them. Please like, share, and subscribe. Learn to understand hierarchy, power, and control, and what you are supposed to be as a parent. You are your adult child's disciplinary, and you're supposed to teach them a lesson. And you're not supposed to be your adult child's victim when they came out of your pussy and your nutsack. Once again, I'm going to say this. I said this is in the beginning. This is about estranged children, biological children. No adoptions for this video. This child came out of your nutsack and your pussy. That is what I'm talking about in the subject matter here. Now, if you want to mentally implement your situation because you adopted a child, that's fine. You can do that. But the things I mentioned are very specific to bloodline. However, if you're an adopted mother or father, you definitely got to apply this as well. If you are an adopted mother or father, you ain't got to put up with the shit at all because that ain't your child. That paperwork don't make it your child. If you adopted a son or daughter and they are not blood related to you, you really need to be saying fuck off. to that so-called estranged adult child, because it's not even your motherfucking child for real. That's somebody else's child that's abusing you. So yeah, I'll add the adopted piece to it. Primarily, this video was about blood relation, but hey, come on in here, adopted parents. Why are you tolerating it? This person didn't come out of your dick or pussy. Send it back to the dick or pussy that it came out of. Write that motherfucker a letter and say, you know what, I adopted your bitch ass child and it's disrespecting me. Come get it. Because I've contacted them after I raised them, him or her, and they won't talk to me. So again, this is my perspective. My perspectives are very helpful. I live out my perspectives, and ultimately, I'm very blessed with the channel, and I live in a lot of peace, and I focus on the children that are not estranged. What about that? Go find you some other kids to help. You know, there's some kids that want to talk to you. Why do we chase people that don't want to be bothered with us and waste our life away? So when I end this video, I'm going to thank, I want to thank two people. Carlos Scalati, bye, and to @Saab_dude Q9J, bye. Thank you so much for leaving the chat, y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Love you. Don't let those estranged children and those estranged adult children harm you. Replay this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget my advice. It will save your life. Please like, share, and subscribe. Pretty please, share the video. Thank you. Bye.